All right, well, looks like we got ourselves another working tide today, and it looks like it's about time to... He thinks I'm talking to somebody. Anyway, it looks like it's about time for us to tackle the transom. Hopefully we'll get Vern out here soon to help me out.
I'm in love with you. Why don't we just because?
Joy and pleasure to millions of music lovers.
I'm in love with chances are you. I'm in love with chances are you.
Well, the excavation's going pretty good. We're starting to find some good material. Looks like we still gotta lose about 3 inches off the deck up here, at least. And then this hole is just a disaster. And then what I'm thinking of doing is actually shortening the shaft on, because the rudders, what are they called? A tiller? The tiller used to run over top of the deck, but I think I'm gonna run it below decks, kind of tuck it away, and then we can put some steering on it. And we'll see what kind of autopilot system we end up getting.
On the bottom, but this is its fur or whatever it was made out of. The stringers or whatever, they're made with yellow cedar plywoods. Marine grade, still like new. So it's just
this.
Why people do that when they build? They use it's like the decks. They always use one layer of glass, and they know that's where it's going to leak. You know, you can see the plywood on top of here. I don't know what I'm doing with this. I can't look through it. I don't have my glasses on. But here, the wood's really good on the top. Right there. But then here, also, where they. So that part's good.
Joy and pleasure to millions of music lovers.
Well, the tide is rushing in, so we're running out of working time. If you can see, this bolt right here is pretty much at the water line. We pulled it out and it punched a hole. So we sealed it back up, stuffed it in there. We'll deal with that one tomorrow. We're gonna drill it out and epoxy something in, but we just didn't have enough time today. So my boat is only a few inches away from sinking. So we're expecting nothing but great weather, but expecting and receiving are two different things. So I'm gonna make a couple little provisions to make sure that this thing doesn't sink. All right, the tide's really come up. And I finished my work down below. I've sealed off this whole section, so even if it does flood, it won't flood into the rest of the boat, but I really, really don't want it to flood. But I'll show you why I'm so nervous. Check this out. Look at this. 4 inches. It's not a lot of space. It's just a little nerve-wracking to be hanging out on my hull like this. Oh, there's the water. It's just not a lot of space, you know? Not a lot of space for mistakes. But we are now officially floating. Could feel the boat move over, and yeah, we're good. So about a finger's length. What is that, 3 inches, 3.5, 4 inches, something like that. Ugh, that is not how I wanted to do things today. I wanted to do stuff up today, but it's just not feasible with the amount of work I now have to do. I took off way more than I was anticipating. Well, at least it's not gonna sink. Did you think this episode was done? I'm not just gonna leave it hanging like that, ass end hanging out. It's not a cliffhanger. We're gonna do part 2, day 2 of the I've got a giant hole in the back of my boat episode. Let's get this day started. First up today, I'm just gonna use up some of that plywood that they sent me and do the bottom layer of my countertops and some of my shelves. with this plywood in, I can start actually using the surface, which means I really got the chance to clean up this side a lot. And I learned a few lessons while I was working here. On the starboard side here, when I laid this bulkhead in, I spent a lot of time making sure this was totally flat and this was a nice right angle and everything was perfect. And then I left those ones extra long and just ran a board across, measured out where it all sits, and then cut them to match. So the effect, so by the time I'm done, when I start putting boards and other things up here, it should all look nice and flat. Now whether it's actually level, well, nothing on a boat is ever really that level, but at least it'll look good. This side, I didn't do such a good job on this side, and you can tell because this cabinetry just did not go in right at all. So I'm adjusting my lines here on this first one, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take a board, draw it across, and pick my lines on all the other ones so that they all sit pretty flush, and I want to make it a mirror image of the starboard side. I want them to be as equal as possible. Yeah, a little bit of extra work. I wish I'd done it right the first time, but it's still early in the game, and I could fix it now, and you know, we're not too worse for wear. If I waited any longer along the project, it would be a much bigger problem. But we're gonna put it all on wait for now. I'm gonna step outside because the tide is down and it's time for us to get back to work. Getting some good work out here. Getting some good work done. Watch out. All right, I'll let you off. Vern's back to clock another shift, and we're laying in support boards. We got the first layer, that's horizontal, second layer, vertical, and then third will be a two-dimensional plywood layer inside. But we'll get to that later. Right now I just want to get it sealed up. What do you think? Good. Alright, we're getting rained out, but we did 2 layers of marine grade, and as you can see there's still a gap. You have to tune in soon to see what I do with that, but at least we got the main pieces up, and we're going to be chopping off the top here, so don't worry about that. Doing some other stuff.
And don't believe it's rain, it never rains here.
Yeah, I mean,
such a sunny Canada.
But yeah, hopefully the rain is almost done. Yeah, I'm pushing it, but we gotta get summer started. We gotta get some work doing here. A lot of ideas and things going on over here, and I can't wait. All this damn rain. Well, the tide is coming back up, and I've pretty much got that transom sealed up. There's only that last little bit on the sides. We'll tackle that in the next episode, but yeah, I'm just gonna keep plodding away here at this plywood, but I'm gonna end today's episode right here because it's been dragging on, and it's going to take me a lot of figuring out, just, you know, measuring, remeasuring, cutting, measuring some more. And I'm making popcorn on my little induction cooktop. Oop. Can't really show you right now because it's popping. Yeah, predictably this thing has been kicking ass, and getting really used to using the wattage. I really like that. It's burning 500 watts right now, and it takes like no time for the solar or the wind generators to bring that power right back up. Because you cook for such a short amount of time, it really does fly together. I might get a second one, or I might just use other electronic cooking apparatus down the road. We'll find out. I'm figuring this out as I go. I didn't think I could cook with electricity, so I'm just really excited. Okay, that's it for me tonight, guys. Good night.